Hello and welcome. Tonight, we are going to hear from Melanie. She had a terrifying Dogman encounter in Atwater, Ohio in 2008. This year, we have some great videos planned, so stay tuned for more exclusive content right here on Exposing the Strange.
My name is Melanie. I'm 58 years old. I grew up in Streetsboro, Ohio. I lived in Atwater, Ohio for 24 years. Atwater's a little different. It's a very old farm town community. A lot of old people, a lot of old, it used to be Indians all around here before the white man settled here. A lot of people say that they see ghosts of Indians still riding their horses through here. So there's a lot of old history in Atwater. Where we're going to go today, we're going to cross an Indian burial ground that isn't marked. Nobody really knows it's there. There's a lot of Indian burial grounds and things in this area. There are old mines in Atwater. There aren't a lot of new people in Atwater. Like, they don't build housing developments much here or anything. It's just very, very rural. Every night, I would take my kids for a deer ride. They were 15, my daughter was 15, I was raising grandchildren, and they were 9 and 6 at the time. And this one night, it was a beautiful night, and the only one who wanted to go with me was my granddaughter. So we got in my van, and it was probably 10:30 at night, maybe 10:30, and we went looking for deer. So we're driving around and we're not seeing any deer, which it was summertime, it was kind of odd. We weren't seeing any deer. So we decided to go down this road called Porter Road. Porter Road is just kind of a long road, nothing really on it, just for the most part, for the very first part of it, it's just woods and swamps. And on the right, if you're going down Porter, there's the back end of a Christmas tree farm. Well, we're driving down the road and we get up to the Christmas tree farm and we're maybe 25, 30 feet away from the middle of where this Christmas tree farm backs up. And something came out of the Christmas tree farm, and my granddaughter yelled, "Grammy, what is that?" And I said, "Destiny, I do not know." And it was black, jet black, short hair. It was about 7 or 8 feet long. We have coyote in Atwater. Coyotes don't get 7 or 8 feet long. And as far as I know, there are no wolves in Atwater. Even a wolf would have been hard-pressed to be this big. It was loping. It wasn't running. It was on all fours. I never saw it stand up. It was loping through the back of the Christmas tree farm, came up to the road and started to cross the road, and it was looking at us. It never turned its head and directly looked at us, but it was looking out of the side of its, like it had its eyes on us. I don't really believe we made eye contact, but it was looking at where we were parked. And at this point where it had walked, it had moved just a little closer. So it was maybe 20 feet, 15, 20 feet away. Its tongue was hanging out the side of its mouth like it had been running. I didn't see any teeth, and I never saw a tail. I never saw a tail on it. It wasn't like a wolf's head. It was bigger than a dog's head, but it was definitely canine-ish. Its ears weren't extremely long. They were proportionate to its head. Kind of pointed, but not sharp pointed, kind of rounded at the tips. Big ears. Let me think, what else can I say about it? I was just enthralled by its back legs because they looked so odd. They looked like they had an extra bone to them or an extra joint to them. They just didn't look, you know, like a dog. You look at a dog, it's like, well, it looks like a dog. Something about this thing's back legs were just not right. They just weren't. Its feet were kind of slightly pointed outwards as it loped. I can't say it walked or ran because it was loping. It was like very awkward like that. And as it crossed the road pretty slowly. I was so focused on those back legs. And in the meantime, my granddaughter is crying and crying. She wants out of there because she grew up in the country. I grew up in the country all my life. I've seen coyote. I've never seen a wolf in person, but I've seen them, you know, of course, like on TV and stuff. It wasn't either one of those. There was something so dreadful about this thing. It just didn't look like anything I had ever seen before, and it was so big. It was kind of thin, not massively built. Its middle was thin. Its chest was big. It had like a pit bull chest, only proportionate to its size. It had a very rounded, big chest. Kind of loped across the road in front of us, and I probably was holding my breath. I imagine I was holding my breath because I was just so captivated by what could this possibly be. And it was like watching a cartoon almost. It wasn't even like it was real. It was almost like some cartoon thing. Not that it was a cartoon. I mean, but it was just so odd. And it went across the road, and on the other side of the Christmas tree farm across the road, it was just woods and swamps. And it just loped off into the woods and then disappeared. We couldn't see it anymore. So that was what we had seen. When it got out of sight, this feeling of dread came over me. I literally almost got sick. I had never experienced anything like that. It just washed over me, this nausea, like I was almost sick. And my granddaughter was just crying hysterically, just crying and crying. So we went on home, and we talked about it. We told my daughter and my grandson about it. Never saw it again, though. But I really didn't go down that road when we still would go on our deer rides every night. But it was about a week before we went on another one, and we didn't go down Porter Road. It was pretty terrifying.
The incident occurred on Virginia Road, which intersects Porter Road. We went back to the location where Melanie had her Dogman encounter. We parked and walked around for a while to see the lay of the land. Thank you for watching. Contact us through our website if you would like to tell your story, or have us tell it for you.